Good morning, everyone. Hopefully that's working. How's everyone today? A little more intimate here. Let me turn on the lights. There we go. That's a little better. All right. Traditional cleanup before the stream. I'm going to put these screen protectors in there too. I installed a matte screen protector on the Steam Deck. So there are reflections, but it's not as pronounced. Don't know if I like it though. It does seem to blur up the screen a little bit, but it is what it is. How's it going, MT? Good morning. It says it's tempered, but it's not tempered. It's definitely definitely plastic. But it was nice to install. There's a nice there's a frame that goes over the Steam Deck. This thing is nuts, by the way. I love this thing. Play Breath of the Wild on it. Oh, maybe I should put this back in there too. How's it going, B-dubs? Enjoy your sleep. Glad you came in to say hello. Also installed a matte screen protector on this bad boy. You can tell up on the edge it doesn't fit the whole screen. Also didn't do as good of a job at installing this. So you can tell, look, you can see what's going on. So this one's not as matte. Well, there's some weird diffraction artifacts there. Interesting. Whereas this one here, you really can't tell what I have up on my wall there. But the screen definition has been altered. But I mean, look at this. Oh, stupid camera. Give me a second here. I'm gonna remove autofocus. Focus. There we go. So yeah, look at the crazy size difference between the two. So this is a little comfortable handheld to play, but it has this really short Nintendo Switch style joysticks, which is not ideal. Then you got this bad boy. Look at the size of this thing. This is when I was designing my own. I was going to make my own Steam Deck. This is kind of the size I had in mind. The weird thing though is these buttons on the back. So they exist. However, when you have your hands wrapped around this, and then you want to let go of this hand to support the Steam Deck in one hand, you inevitably press these buttons in. They do sound good though. I believe these are analog triggers as well. And these are so analog triggers and digital bumpers. Feels good though. And the dual trackpads is a bit weird too. I like this thing. So far, pretty happy with it. I also found my magnetic viewing film. Only magnets I can see here are the speakers. I ordered some more film anyways, just in case. You see, it's a little bit blurry because of the matte screen protector. I don't know if this one will turn on. There we go. So if I go to my library, I actually don't know if my Steam name comes up. I don't think so. Oh, could be some of my friends though. Well, regardless. There you go. I've been playing this the most. Breath of the Wild. Phenomenal game. They also have a desktop experience, which is interesting. So it's my first experience in Linux, and I have to say I'm not a fan. It's not been going super well, even though, oh wow, it's so dim. Let's see. Oh, I don't know how to change the brightness. But anyways, yeah, not a fan of Linux so far. How do I? Well, whatever. Shut down. There we go. Well, anyways, yeah, not a fan. Oh, this guy's open. There we go. So yeah, this thing's working pretty well. It's a little, especially after playing with this. This guy is not phenomenal. Anyways, these matte screen protectors are on so that I can make content out of these. Yeah, this is not as good of an experience as this. For sure. Oh, that just suspends. Takes a little time to get used to Linux. Oh, I thought you were going to sleep. It does. I agree. But I don't know if I'm willing to put in that time. I'll give you an example. So I have a living room computer here. So essentially, when I upgrade my computer, I take the old computer and put it in my living room. That becomes my home theater PC. And on there, it has a network share that is available to anyone that connects to my network. I mean, even I install Windows 10 freshly. I install it. I can access the network share. No issues. Linux cannot access it. It doesn't. Apparently, Linux doesn't play well with Samba shares, which is the default Windows sharing. So, yeah. So that's no good. So, in order to get files on and off the Steam Deck, you either have to transfer it through the SD card, which, if properly formatted for the Steam Deck, isn't visible in Windows, or through the one and only USB port. You have to use an adapter and then put a flash drive. So thankfully, because I knew I was getting a USB-C laptop, I got this guy, which is just a USB-C hub, so I can plug that in. But I mean, it's annoying. It's really annoying transferring stuff to an SD or a USB and then transferring it to the Steam Deck. And apparently you can do like an SSH server and transfer stuff like that. The only issue is the SSH server is insecure. It's like a big security problem. So you have to turn it on and off, and you have to do it through commands in the command prompt, but you can't copy and paste those commands because you know, I mean, you'd have to browse the internet on this. It's like really, it's kind of a pain in the butt. I think Linux might be okay, but so far I'm not a fan. It's not going so well, Linux and I. Oh, what's this doing up here? This should be down in the storage container for now, because I'm not doing the diodes video quite yet. Oh, this is not put away either. Look at that. Where is my diodes container? Oh, it's right beside me. You nincompoop. There we go. So yeah, it is what it is. Let me check, see if my, well, let me turn on the microscope. And I just want to check, see if all my stuff is functioning. Where is, oh, there. Just seeing if the microscope works and see if the Elgato works. Because so far, oh, there we go. It works right away. That's nice. There's my crappy fingernail. Nice. My whole setup still works. Screen, that's good. Second camera up there. Oh, that's really reflecty. Do I have to adjust the focus on this too? I definitely do. Configure video. It should focus, right? I don't want to have to focus this every time. Horrible. Oh, where's the... some reason I can't configure video on it. Well, hopefully that's going to be good enough. Seriously, I can't configure video? Oh, it's there. Never mind. Drop brightness, up contrast. Up sharpness. And then don't need autofocus. There we go. There we go. Should be a little bit better. Not measuring anything. Oh crap, I opened. That's what was happening. Alright, just make sure, second camera, that still works. Good. Very good. What's in this? Probably have to make another camera before we move on. Another camera, another coffee. Good. All right. Coffee time. Be right back. Well, you guys are joining me anyways, so you just by audio. And then we will mess with some stuff. Making sure my mic wire doesn't get caught in the banister. Up on the main floor. We have a massive rainfall warning in my area. Supposed to get up to 75 mils of rain, which is 3 inches roughly of rain. That's a lot of rain. All right, that is going. Have to go up in 2.5 minutes and put it away. Is my stream accurate. I don't know. Whatever. It is what it is. All right. So yeah. So I felt like this thing was, you know, big when I got it, but now it is absolutely dwarfed by this beast. Look at the monster on this. It's huge, but honestly, for 350 Canadian pesos, I'm pretty happy with it. I've been relaxing, you know, away from my computer for a little while, and that's been nice. Yeah, see this one. This one has digital triggers. Look at how like fingerprinty it became too. It's not bad for reflections. But yeah, matte screen protectors. It does affect the visual quality a little, but it is what it is. Why do I have trash on the ground? Ugh. All right. So let's get the bin. I think we can do this video today. Because I have the second camera, I will get a recording of the amount of current going through there. So I can definitely do that. Let's see, does this work? This is positive down. 1.25 volts, and that says 1.25 is in the low power zone. This says January 2011 on it. These things though, oh look, this one's perfectly fine, 1.5 volts. Why is there an insulator there? You see that? .36, what's that? Still in the low power. Must have a dead one in here. .5. .55. That's good. Ah, there we go. .69. This is May 2011. 0% mercury and cadmium. Super alkaline. Oh. Tool is freaking out. It's not happy. .25, 1.24. So essentially, we can just make our own. Oh, 6 point. Oh, look at that! It's draining the cell. That's crazy. Well, we're gonna mess with this a little bit, and then we're gonna open them up and see how they work. I think this one here can do coin cells. I'm not sure if it can. I'm gonna open this because it's not. Can easily reseal it. I don't know, that probably only the thicker ones in there. The microwave is screaming at me because my coffee's ready. There we go. Man, that is tight. 1.27 volts. So it can't do 18650s. And here you have to align the positive. 9 volts. Nice display on it though. Alright, so that's what we're doing to start with. I'm gonna go get my coffee. Be right back. Or, well, you guys are coming with me, just not camera-wise. Vero should be almost back here. So she might walk in on us. One scoop of coffee, one sweetener, 2 sweeteners. There we go. And back I come. So at some point I do need to edit a whole bunch of footage. I think I need to release more videos. Anything new in chat? Nope. Okay, here it goes. This can go over here. Let's see what we see on camera. Live view. Gonna twist this so it's a little bit more even. This, and then the bag. There we go. Oh, I need my mics though. Jeez, that was close. Like so. Put the little dead cat on it. Just bayonets into place. There we go. Pop this guy on here. And then the input. Oh yeah, output, not input, output. The output is in there. There we go. So that should be good. So yeah, these little mics are really working for me. Morning, HVAC Sparky. Hey, I just taught some Sparkies. I just had a contract to teach math and computers to electricians. Electrician apprentices, of course, not full electricians, although some of them could do with a little bit of math training. Alright, so we're going to take a look at that, take a look at that. There we go. And should be good to go. Alright, quiet on set, quiet on set. Today we're taking a look at these little battery testers. These happen to be branded ANEG, but sometimes you get them completely unbranded. I don't know if they came up with a design and then it got ripped off, or if an OEM makes these. No idea. These things are pretty cool because they let you test all of your individual cells that you have laying around the house and you're not sure if they're good or not. Positive always goes towards the clamp side here, the sort of red side. And then you just slide this in here and it gives you a quick indication. This one is 1.24 volts. Of course, this cell started at 1.5. And then you look in the back and that tells us this is a low power cell. Below 1.15 you replace, but this one's low power. So it does all sorts of cells, right? It goes pretty big, up to 4.8 volts. So I think you can do an 18650. We'll check that as well. And it also does 9-volt batteries. For the 9 volts though, it's actually pretty interesting. It has little ridges here, so you can't put the wrong polarity on it, which is pretty nice. But you just hold that up like that. Whoop, hold it tight. You know, pretty much 9 volts. And for a 9-volt battery, that is good. So why can't you just use a regular multimeter? Well, a cell will have a pretty high float voltage, and we'll check that in a moment. So the voltage will be pretty high, but this thing should put a small load on it, which we will check, and that tells you the voltage under load. So there must be a standard, but I mean, we'll take a look at what this thing actually does. So that's pretty good. So this one here is the same concept, but instead of a moving jaw, and some of these jaws are sprung, this one is not. Instead of a moving jaw, it has this weird sort of puzzle piece feel that you just go like that and you touch the other contact. So it's quite obvious that the whole contact here just goes across, and you just need to, you know, touch one end to the other. Also has the 9-volt section. However, you have to be a little bit more cautious of how you connect it, because it doesn't have little ridges protecting that. And apparently this can do little coin cell batteries too. So we need to see about that. So I think the first step is we're going to pull these apart and see what they look like on the inside. Hey, that was good. One take. Lots of electricians don't know how electrical works, which is sad. That is why I got into HVAC and refrigeration. I actually get to play with electrical controls. Ah, very nice. Yeah, what was I gonna say? I don't remember. But yeah, so we basically have an apprenticeship program here in Ontario, Canada. I don't know where you're from. And the apprentices need to go through quite a bit of training. However, we have a pre-apprenticeship program which gets people ready for the apprenticeship, and that's what I was teaching, math and computers on those, so that you know, hopefully they become useful electricians, and I think some of them will. Oh, you're in Alberta. Okay, so you know all about the apprenticeship program. You guys have a different one, but still same apprenticeship program. All right, let's see. This is probably a P1. It is. Is this also P1? I can't see down the hole. It is. All right, so let's see if we can focus on that. Probably focus on this one, actually. Right. Seems to be a Phillips 1 on the back here, so I'm going to use my nice Weehaw screwdriver to try to get into there. There we go. See, it's pretty deep. So there's one screw, and there's the other. And now there's moving parts, so everything is going to go flying for sure. Okay, so very simply here, we've got a contact on the red portion of this, the little trigger. And the red wire goes to here on this circuit board. And we've got another red wire going to the contact here. This is the positive contact on the 9-volt. And then this negative contact here actually folds around and is a negative for the 9-volt as well. See if the camera can keep focusing. And that goes to that little spot there. I'm going to remove this circuit board And we'll take a little bit of a closer look to see what's happening on the board. But I don't expect there's going to be too much magic here. Likely is going to be a driver for the LCD or the segment displays, and then probably going to be a voltage reg for that, and then there's probably going to be a transistor and a diode to feed that switches in a resistor, a different resistor for this one as this one, and that'll be it. I'm pretty sure. Ooh, a zebra stripe. So hopefully that zebra strip goes back together well, or else this thing isn't going to work. Let me zoom you in. Yeah, that was horrible focus, but that's okay. All right, so let's take a look here. You guys will not be able to see any of this. So I think if I zoom all the way in, I don't know if I'll be able to focus. We'll see. Doesn't really matter because I can't see anything. Maybe I should use the microscope for this. I hate filming on the microscope because that means I'm going to have to cut it out of the live stream. So I guess we'll have to. All right, let's put this in the microscope. Super thin wires. Let's look up what the HT30 is. I think that's going to be a transistor. HT30. HT30. Go HT30 SMD. That's a voltage regulator. Whoop. HT30 SMD data sheet. '78 HT 300. I don't think that's it. So there are transistors. That is, hang on, I'm trying to remember the footprint name. SOT, is it SOT 23? Come on. Does it look like a voltage reg though? I mean, there's no caps around it. U2. There's a diode. No caps. Oh, there's C3, which is not connected, but it goes onto the There's no capacitor. SOT 23. Hang on a sec. Oops. Screen. Forbidden. I think that's just a spam website. All right, let's try. YouTube, if weird stuff shows up on AliExpress, it's not my fault. What? HT, yeah, it's definitely. Yeah, so HT7530. 7530 data sheet. Probably find it here without the spam on it. Yeah, this is a 3-volt regulator. Up to 30 volts, and it outputs. Oh, need the 3.3 volt one, or 3 volt one. There we go. Outputs 3 volts. So that's good. All right, so I'm gonna have to rip this right from the live stream, so we'll take a look. Okay. Let's flip it so that it's at least the correct way around. There we go. I don't know what this is. 2006? That's not. That couldn't possibly be. Is this? Oh, 9002. So it can't be 900 with 2 zeros. That would be like a 900K or a 90K resistor. Maybe I should check that. All right, hang on a moment. My God, this is so small. Need some magnification. Where's my helmet? There it is. Okay, so how do you lock this thing? There we go. All right, I'm gonna swap you guys over to the second camera. We're gonna turn this on. Grab the test leads. And we're gonna pop this into 2-wire resistance measurement. All right, so this is in circuit, so it may not be ideal. It is a 90K. It is indeed a 90K. This one here, 625 ohm. This one here, 10 ohm. The only thing is I don't see a transistor. Oh, but you wouldn't need a transistor to put a 10 ohm resistor in series. It would just be in series. What's this? There's a 10K across that. 10 meg right there. Okay, but then for the other side, let's see what kind of resistance. 780 ohms. Looking for where the load comes from for the 1.5 volt cells. Twelve megs, yes, 100. I can't see it. I don't know where. I don't know where the resistor is. Let's back to this. So there's the 10 ohm resistor. So right there, there's a diode and a 10 ohm resistor. This is a 3 volt regulator, likely for this IC because it's too high. Not sure what this means, 01C, but this is a 90K resistor. There's like the giant contact is dragging all over. There is SS14. I believe that's just a standard diode. Then, like, obviously with these big caps, and there's a chip there going to the diode that's like a boost converter because it's got caps and a what do you call that? My God, an inductor. And then this is a 3K resistor and 01B. Not 100% sure what that is. So 01C and 01B. I don't know what that stands for. Let's check. SMD resistor. Zero 01B. Okay, 01B is a 1K with 1% tolerance, and 01C is a 10K. All right. All right, so let's do the piece to camera. All right, so let's see if we can center this as much as possible. There we go. I'm going to turn off the multimeter because the fan is so incredibly loud. All right, here goes. What you're looking at here is the ground wire and the wire going to the 9 volt right over here. So this is the entrance of the where the 9. let me try that again. That sounded like garbage. All right, here it goes. So this is where the positive contact of the 9-volt battery goes, and here is the common ground. And as the voltage comes in, we go through a diode. So this is your reverse polarity protection. There is a 10 ohm resistor, which I assume is the load that it puts on the 9-volt battery. And then here you've got a 3-volt regulator, very likely to power this chip, which deals with the LCD. Then you've got a 10K resistor here and a 90K resistor. And I'm not quite sure what those are for, considering that if the positive path goes through here, a 10 ohm resistor and then a 3.3 volt transistor, a 3-volt regulator here. And then, yeah, I'm not sure what this path is for, because this is still positive here. That might be for the voltage sensing, because it is going over to the chip here, right there. So this IC is completely nameless. And then if we go over to where the positive is for the 1.5 volt side of it, it's actually pretty interesting, because here we have a 3K resistor right about here. This is the input path here. And then we've got a device I haven't looked up yet. I'll put it on the screen if I looked it up. And we've got an inductor. And then we have 2 caps, and we have a diode. So that to me looks like either a buck or a boost, probably a boost converter. So this might control the switching through the diode here. And then we've got a 10K resistor, R11, a little capacitor, and then the chip. So that is it. I almost feel like the load on the 1.5 volt cell is going to be just this, this boost converter, because I don't think a 3K ohm resistor would be enough to load it up. But we're going to check it. We're going to put it through a current draw test on the on a multimeter. Pretty neat. Let's take apart the other one now. All right, I think that works. So let's put this back together. I don't think it's necessary to see the reassembly, except for you guys. So let's put this back. Zebra strip has to line up. Hopefully I didn't bork this in the process. Let's take these little short screws. Put her back together. I mean, this has got to be easy to align, because or else these things wouldn't be so cheap. These are only a couple bucks. Essentially, the harder it is to assemble something, the more it's going to cost, because there's a little bit more labor involved. There and there. That should be pressing on the zebra strip. Actually flexing the board quite a bit. Alright, so we need the positive to go back in here, and the negative to go back in here. So there we go. And then this little guy needs to sit in this track, like so. And then this little guy needs to go together, like so. And if it doesn't catch fire when we put a battery across it, all right, let's see if this still works. Oh. Yes, ma'am. There we go. So that's good. And then this one still work? Yep, still work. So this one, confirm it still works. This one reads a bit high. Must have less load. All right, let's get the camera situated. Yeah, I'm not going to zoom in that much. Nice part about the 4K camera is I don't have to worry about zooming in so much all the time, because I can punch in post if I really need to. Let's see how easy this one is to take apart. I'm assuming just as easy. Oh, a little bit harder. It's got 3 screws. Fancy, fancy. Ooh, and they're black too. They're not the silver ones, so they undergone a second treatment process. Looks like the middle screw is a bit smaller. Yeah. Oh, looks like just the top screw is a bit bigger. The other 2 are smaller. See if this will go springing all over. Nope, not too bad. Again, tiny little PCB on this one, although the PCB looks a little bit more complicated, and it looks like we have 2 separate terminals for ground. So this time the negative for the 9-volt and the negative for the other cells are different than the one, they're not the combined negative. And then of course you've got the 2 positives, so we've got 4 contacts here. 1, 2, 3, and this big one, number 4. Pretty neat how they did that. On the inside we've got the same sort of arrangement where it's just resting a PCB on a zebra stripe. There we go. Single-sided board. Let's go take a look underneath the microscope. All right, so let's see what it looks like. Oh, same thing, 3-volt regulator there. We've got 2 100K. This is like 100K here. 100K, 100K, 5.1K. We've got a 100 ohm resistor there, little unnamed chip. We've got that same thing, DE3OX. Also another inductor, a little diode, a big diode, and then a cap. Ooh, and some very poor soldering here. Jeez. So plus and minus, and then an unpopulated cap. All right, let's look up what this chip is. So D might be the brand, so E30X. Let's take a look. Yeah. Screen E30X. SMD. PWM step up. Log in to show. Get out of here. E30X. Voltage detector. Step down controller. Yeah, I think that's it. And then it says a 3 volt 150 milliamp LDO. I think it's a step down converter controller. All right, let's do the piece to camera. So this is the large contact. All right, anyways. Well, we have the same kind of thing here. So we've got an inductor. This, I looked it up. It looks like it's a It's a DC to DC converter controller, diode, and then another little diode here, and a 100 ohm resistor. I wonder if that's the load resistor. Not sure. Then if we go down this way, we've got that same 3 volt regulator. We've got some 100K ohm resistors, a 5.1K, a little capacitor, unnamed chip. Over here, some of the worst soldering. I think you guys missed this. And then here, that's interesting because it says that this looks like the positive 1.5 volt connection, but it's definitely not. It definitely goes to the connector on the 9 volt side. So that's pretty interesting. And then this one here has both the grounds. So yeah, kind of the same thing as the other one. And this is all you get. Very cut down. Let's put this one back together too. Okay, I think that went well. Let's put this back together. There we go. All right, same deal. In here, it's got the zebra connector. Like so. And then second one, like so. Okay, gonna pop these things in. I'm trying to remember, positive I think was over here. It doesn't seem to matter because there is a positive marking on the terminal itself. there's one. There's two. These terminals seem to be identical. Like so, and then this little jiggly bit goes in here. I'm going to put a little bit of tension on it, I think, to slide it in. There we go. I knocked out one of these. So there we go. And then this tiny little guy, I think, goes this way. Sort of like that. Sort of like that. And sort of like that. There we go. It is in. And hopefully it'll still work. If not, I'm sure it's something we can fix. So the biggest screw goes on the very top, and the other two goes kind of anywhere. One and two. Like so, and then like so, and let's see if it still works. All right, I think I did swap the positive and the negative, whatever. It works. All right, so now let's see if we can do just quick checking to see if we can check current now. So I'll put this in the milliamp hole, like so. Morning, Joseph. All right, so, and we're gonna go to shift there, milliamp DC. So let's see if we can get this done. You guys need to go onto the second camera. So this is where having a really precise DMM is going to come in handy. So if we go, this is the negative. If we probe this, so I need to push this lead in and this. What do we got? 1.5 milliamps. So 1.5 milliamps on the 9-volt side. And then this is going to be easier. Like almost 5 milliamps for the 1.5 volt. So these have separate grounds, so it's harder to do the 9 volt than it is the it's harder to do the 9 volt than it is the 1.5. All right, so let's see how we're going to get this on camera. Hit that live view. There we go. All right, so I'm going to film a little segment here. So they have to look pretty. Alright, just a little quick proof that these still work now once I reassembled them. So here we go. It says 9.15 volts, and this one here 9.02. A little bit of a difference between the two. And this part still works. 1.25 volts and 1.28. This one actually shows a little bit higher than this. So what I will do now is I'll bring up the venerable UT8805E up on your screen, and I'm going to probe to see how much current we're pulling through these two devices. So I'm going to put my actually I'll put the negative lead up in here and then positive on the top of the cell, and I'm just going to hook it up like this. We should get a reading there. Yep, here we go. And we are pulling just about 5 milliamps out of this 1.5 volt cell in order to test its voltage under load. And we can do a similar thing. Now the grounds should be connected. They do solder to the same spot, so I'm going to just jam my ground into here. Like so. And then I'm going to grab my positive onto the positive terminal here. It's going to be a little hard to reach. So that should be touching. And then here we go. So on the 9 volt side, I do have my leads backwards, but that's okay. 1.5 milliamps for the 9 volt. So that is for the BT189, the fancier one. Let's do the same thing here on the BT168 Pro. And I'm just going to see if I can get the positive on here. Now again, the negative is the same, but this one I can't jam my probe in. This one might be a little bit more fuss. Let's see if I can grab that. Not exactly ideal. Let's try with the 1.5 volt cell. I'm going to pop this in here and pop this in here. This one has the polarity protection, so it's a little bit harder to get it set up. But there we go. We're pulling 6, almost 7 milliamps of current for the 1.5 volt. This 9 volt is not easy to do. And 2 milliamps on the 9 volt battery side of this one. So this one does seem to pull more current and thus will give you a little bit less conservative estimate of the remaining capacity than this one here. I mean, both of them are good, both of them are valid, but it does seem like this one will give you a little bit more realistic reading of how long your cells will last. But then again, that all depends, because it could be that these cells are in a TV remote, for example, and in a TV remote, it does almost nothing for its entire life. So, you know, maybe this will be a better indicator for that. But something like a multimeter or you know, a child's toy that makes a lot of noise, this one here will give you a better indication because the current is a little higher. How's it going, Franco? Your Voron 0.2 kit yesterday, having a blast assembling it. Oh, nice. Really good. I'm glad you got a 0.2. I've been looking at the 0.4. I mean the 0.4, the 2.4. But it's $1,500. It's just way too much. And I know essentially I get a discount on it because I buy it for business reasons, so I get to claim it on my taxes. But it doesn't soften the blow of $1,500, especially since the college is not giving me as many contracts this year. So my income for the college is probably about a third of what it typically is on a typical year. So yeah, so it's not looking good. Let's just say. Now I could just do a couple of extra PCBWay videos, but they're not easy. They're hard work. So yeah, I'm just messing around with this. Let's see. What else do I want to do? I can switch back. I can go to voltage. And we can check the accuracy of the display. Let's see if that's worth doing. So volts DC. The printed parts kit don't include the parts for the S1 upgrade stuff. What do you mean S1 upgrade? Second cam. Oh, it does include the parts for the Kirigami bed? But hold on, did it come with the Kirigami bed? Because if it came with the Kirigami bed, it should include the parts, no? The picobilical. Okay, yeah, I have both those things on mine. What seller did you get yours from? Because I got mine from Cybor, and it did include all the stuff. Okay, let's see. Yeah, 1.27, and this shows 1.251. The LDO kit. Oh, you got printed parts separately. Yeah, okay, that's a problem. I can see. All right, let me see if I can film this part. Got myself set up now to check the accuracy of the reading here. So let me put a cell across this. There we go. So this is showing 1.29 volts, but the UT8805E is showing 1.246 volts DC. Interesting, there's a difference there. I don't know if I'll be able to check it on the other one though. This one is a little bit harder to manage, but let's see if I can do it. If I put my positive probe here, so if I can jam that in there. This might be too much of a faff to do without disassembling the tool again. Okay, so I don't know if you can see that, but it says 1.2 1.24 volts, and I'm reading 1.235. So I would say that this one here, actually the cheaper one, is a little bit more accurate. That's really interesting. There we go. All right. LDO kit from West 3D and printed parts from Matter Hackers. Ah, I see. All right, so I feel like I have just enough. I need to switch you guys back here. I feel like I might have just enough battery left in the camera to shoot an outro. What do you guys think of that process? Oh. So there we go. I'm sorry, I do have to put you guys on the screen, because basically when I put you guys on this screen, it's because I'm recording the output to use as footage. So let me see. So in the end then, which one would I recommend? Well, I think this one is actually the better device because it just seems to be able to deal with more stuff. I'll put a link in the description to both of these things, but I mean, they do have their pros and cons. This one is quite a bit smaller, and this one is a little bit more finicky to use with the slider. But yeah, I think I would recommend this one for people that know what they're doing with their cells. And you know, if you need something for your mom to check the batteries in her remote every once in a while, maybe this one is the one for you. Thanks for watching. I did forget one thing. I need to test 18650s, see if they work. So let's see. This one does not fit an 18650. Oh, this one's upside down. This one does fit an 18650. Let's see if these things will work with 18650s. Now I do see that this will work with a 14500, with a 10440, and with a 16340, but I don't have any of those because the 18650 is the most common cell. So let's try on this one. This one definitely works, 4.18 volts, so this is pretty much full charged. Does it work with this one though? No. There is no way to contort a cell to get into this. So although this does do up to 4.8 volts, you're not going to be able to use it with 18650s, which is a bit of a problem for me. There we go. It's a wrap. We're done this one. 9:15 in the morning. We're already done one video. It's a good sign. The other ones won't be so easy though, I don't think. Alright, let's pop the cell back in the charger. The charger. Whoop. This, I'm really glad I got the extra batteries for this camera. There we go. When I get into the mood to make videos, any little obstacle will just ruin the mood. So the other day when I couldn't find this bad boy, the magnetic film viewer, I got upset and I just stopped the stream, right? So just, you know, your mood affects you a lot, especially if you're like creating stuff, if you're a content creator, you know? All right, so what are we doing? Oh yeah, so this is 9 volts, this one's good. We're gonna test all these cells. 1.25, does that one have a, no, that one doesn't have a scale. So this is good. We're gonna put the good ones on one side and the bad ones on the other. Thanks for the advertisement, Franco. 1.5, that's good. 1.51, that's good. These are all cells that are just hanging out around here. 1.54, that's good. 1.55, that's good. 1.36, that's good. Anything above 1.15 essentially. 1.39, that's good. Oh, geez, this one's not happy. I don't think this has enough juice. Let's see if this one with a little bit lower current draw. Nope. She's dead, Jim. So this one, daily max. No bueno, this one's good. Oh, I can do another shot for coin cells as well. 1.56, that's good. Ooh, this one's not registering. Nope, this one's completely dead. Oh, this one's dead. Look at that, 6.86. Yep, so that's no good. .53, that's good. Most of these are good. .55, that's good. Hey, good thing I didn't just throw out all of the cells that I had on my workbench. 1.53, only 3 are bad. 1.26, that's a little bit low. Alright, now these coin cells. Oh, I can do a shot about coin cells as well. So I haven't tested them. Alright, let's see. Let's line up my shot. I'll get some LR44s as well, because that's pretty common. I don't want to pick and choose kind of bad cells, but all right. So what about testing coin cells, like in your car's key fob or in your vernier caliper? Well, I think we can do it. So positive is the flat side usually, and the little button is the negative. So let's put it in here. Yeah, 1.52. This one works. And let's see if it works in this one. I don't know if you can close it enough. Oh, got to really be on that contact. Oh, whoops, it's backwards on this one, I forgot. There we go, 1.47, so that works. What about these guys, the CR2034, I think? CR2032. Let's see. Well, this one doesn't seem to be working, but is that a problem because it's dead or because it's not able to do it? I think they're just dead. Yeah, these are not working at all. I actually probably have to go get one that's known good to see if these guys will actually work. Found 9-volt battery the other day in a box, measured 3.2 volts. Yeah, that is dead, my friend. I'm actually curious if this is still good. This is a camera battery, CR2. I don't even know what kind of voltage on this. Well, doesn't matter. She's dead. It's too much of an odd size for this one. I got a bunch of loose cells in here too. I don't have a pack of coin cells. I typically keep them in stock, but I may have given them away, so... Oh, here's another coin cell. Let's see if this one works. This is a tiny one, CR 2016. Yeah, it's either dead or it doesn't work. You know when you think you've got pretty much everything in stock, and then it turns out you don't have the one thing you need? Oh, here's another couple of cells. Nothing. Nothing. Are these things... Okay, so now the question is... I'll keep looking for a moment, but the question is, are they dead? Because if they're dead, that's perfectly normal that it doesn't work. But if they're not dead, come on, just show me sign of life on one of these. Just one of these. Gotta be. Okay, I'm gonna go pull one out of my key fob. Be right back, or well, you guys are coming with me, because I have to know. All right, how do I pull this apart now? So this key fob definitely functions. Looks like it was a lot of work to put this key ring around it. It's missing the emergency key as well. Okay, get out of there. This is going to be a bit the sacrifices I make for video making, huh? I have an order of 25 2032 batteries arriving today with a bunch of keyblades. Yeah. You guys must make a fortune on those. There was a while where I worked at the dealership where we were charging, well, Honda was charging us a ridiculous amount for CR 2032 cells, and so we had to sell them through at a ridiculous amount, and it got to the point where we're just telling customers, yeah, just go to the dollar store, dude. You don't want to buy them here. And then eventually Honda dropped their prices, but I was like, it was ridiculous. I think it was $20 a cell. It's like, how can you, like, we were telling customers, don't even buy it from us. It's just way too much money. And the new cars with the active fobs, there we go. That works. Okay. So the new cars with the active fobs, the ones with the walk away stuff and the, you know, and the two-way features essentially, they chew through these cells like crazy. They really need to put two in parallel, or just get a USB lithium rechargeable one. All right, so let's see. I went through my hoard of coin cells and none of these are good, so I actually had to go steal one out of my key fob just to make sure that I had a good one to test. And here we go. So positive, negative. This one works, 2.93 volts. And then let's see if this one works. Yes, it does, 2.91. So it does work for coin cells as well. There we go. Some of the new Ford Prox keys have two big button cells. That's good. It's a Ford though, so they'll probably break down some other way. I'm getting so sick of Ford shit. They're such garbage cars. Absolute trash. And then people tell me, oh yeah, but you know, you make money off them, so you should be happy. And it's like, I would rather do maintenance than repairs. Maintenance you can schedule anytime. Repairs are like the customer needed their car and it failed on them. I don't know if that makes any sense. 902 megahertz. Interesting, it's in the 900 megahertz range. Put my key fob back together. There we go. I was watching the VTech Academy live stream the other day. I wish I had money for a cool car. I would get rid of this V50. I don't mind the V50, but it's not what I like. And I would just love to have one cool car to drive all year round. Or like a Lexus RX something, F Sport. I just want a nice, reliable car that'll last me forever, but that also is comfortable and quiet on the road and a little bit more powerful. There we go. Fob back together. Done. So I think this video now is done, and I can also chuck all these cells are all bad. Yeah, 433 is, I think, by far the most common. It's like the open band. We had a customer that their car would not unlock intermittently, and I diagnosed it as they live right next to a radio tower. And so whatever that radio tower was emitting, it was swamping the signal of their key fob, and so their car wouldn't unlock. And then they'd wait like 10 minutes, and whatever it was transmitting was over, and then it would work. You replaced your VTT solenoid the other day, trying to stop oil leak in your element. Oh, VTC solenoid. Yeah, the O-ring was flat. Yeah. But you don't have to replace the solenoid. You can replace the O-rings. Although I do understand it's a little bit easier. You have the solenoid out. Might as well replace it. But did you get scared that the solenoid was going to break in the head? Ford used to be so reliable. 64 Mark I Cortina and a 76 Mark IV Cortina never let you down. Save the old ones. Yeah, we'll swap the rings. Okay. Is it the VTEC solenoid you replaced on the back side of the engine, or the VTC solenoid on the timing chain side of the engine? Because those VTC solenoids. Okay, so the VTC solenoids, sometimes they feel like they're going to break in the head. They are very tight. Your car only has single VTC, I'm pretty sure, on intake side? On intake side. Was coating the belt and the alternator. All right, so one thing I will warn you, those K-Series engines, they have two very common leaks. One is the crank seal behind the crank pulley, and the other one is the tensioner cover. So there's a black steel cover going with 3 bolts going over the timing chain tensioner, and that is a common leak as well. So the timing chain tensioner is very easy to fix. You pull the cover, wire wheel it down, and put new gray sealant. Use Permatex or Honda Bond. Only Permatex Ultra Gray or Honda Bond. Those are the only two I would recommend. And you put it back together. For the crank pulley, it's a little bit more of a pain in the ass, because sometimes a crank pulley doesn't come off without like some serious air tools. So that is a non-zero chance, but I don't know. I hope you'll get lucky. All right, so these I need to bring somewhere to dispose of. They don't just go in the trash. Also, valve cover is a common leak too, but not enough to soak the belts. JDM engine. They don't ship to you? Or are you close enough? An engine swap is kind of a big deal though. It's going to take you a while. And if you don't get the exact match, you might have to do some harness changes, because some of those K-Series have knock sensors, others don't. There are differences, like for the MIRC, the IMRC, the intake manifold runner control solenoids and stuff. There are some small differences. Some have different oil pump, and so the crank sensor can be up on timing chain side, or it can be over at the crankshaft, like the somewhere like 2/3 of the way through the crankshaft with a tooth ring. So you do have to make sure you get the correct K20 engine. It's not, they're not all the same. K24, sorry. They're not all the same. Is your element manual or automatic? Because if it's manual, then you're going to want to replace the clutch at the same time. So auto front wheel drive. Oh, interesting. I wanted a front wheel drive CRV, but couldn't find one. They're very, very rare in Canada because they have to be US imports. No front wheel drive CRVs in that generation in Canada. All wheel drive. Actually, even more specific, I wanted a manual front wheel drive. Kind of regret selling my CRV, but I didn't have any space to work on it. Love that car. All right. Also, speaking of which, I have to deal with my V70. I have to decide what's happening with it, because if I don't rebuild the transmission in the next month, by the time it's rebuilt, it's going to be too cold to install it in the car, and I can't have that sitting in my driveway all winter. Worked in a shop 15 years ago, done a bunch of swaps on different Asian cars and American no K series. I mean, if you get the correct K24, it's a pretty direct swap, but it's if you don't. And also, the weak point of those cars is not the engine, it's the transmission. Usually those K series, they'll burn oil, but they'll go forever. They'll just keep happily burning oil to infinity and beyond. There we go. I can put my cells in here. Also, you need to get yourself an engine support. It's going to be very hard to pull it from the top, so you probably want to push it down, put it down through the bottom. And you're going to have to take the subframe out first. So you want to get a engine support. I guess you can drop it on the subframe. There we go. Done and dusted. Keeping your eyes open for a manual. Yeah. I mean, good luck. I would love to go down to Florida just to buy a car to bring it back up, because here in Canada, everything's all rotten all the time. It sucks. It really sucks. Everything's like constantly rotten. Okay, so we can make a video on this guy. That is for sure. So the thing is, I'm racking my brain, because these things, the IC pullers, these LEDs, and this, the little steel wool brass things, I can't picture these being a full-size video. That was my CRV. I had a 5-speed all-wheel drive CRV. So yeah, I can't see either of these things being a full video by itself. These guys are going to be fun to play with, but I need my laptop here, and I'll have to change my capture setup a little bit. So that definitely can be done, but not right now. My laptop's kind of elsewhere. These split rail power supplies could be fun. And then there's the bag sealer. Bag sealer could be an interesting video as well. It's very inexpensive. They have like a cutter option too. I don't think I like the cutter because it stabs into the pad. I think if you get this right, I think this heats up and becomes red hot. Definitely smells like burning plastic. Definitely has some heat going on. But probably need to charge this a little bit. This is USB micro. I just had a whole bunch of USB cables out. But anyways, so this could be a video. Let's see what it looks like under the microscope, the element. So, don't know if you can see that. It's like a little copper weave. You'd like a video on the bag sealer? Look at that. There's like fiberglass strands sticking out. You can see that. It essentially does a short circuit here. Let's see if I can. So when you push that down, see that glow? It's getting red. I don't know if I keep holding it, if it'll just keep heating. Sucks because I used to be able to get it like red. I think the cell might be a little worse for wear. It's not like getting hot anymore. Oh. It's getting hot where my finger is underneath. Oh, you see the smoke rising? It's making noises, like crispy noises. It definitely got hot. You see a little knife there in the back too. Oh boy, yeah, it's getting hot on my thumb underneath here. You know what we can do though? We can look at it under a thermal camera. I have one of those. You definitely need to disconnect the battery though, because it kills the battery. Okay, let's see what it looks like. Ooh, smells like burnt plastic. Okay. Yeah, it got hot all right. There's where my thumb was. So it's 45 degrees Celsius. And then there's the contacts there. 100 and some. 138 on the contacts. See if we can see where the LiPo is. Yeah, it definitely has a long boot up time. I'm okay with that though. I'm okay with the long boot up time. Yeah, this thing, it's probably too hot for a video at this moment, but I will definitely charge it and see what we can do. But let's see if we can see the hotspot. Oh, it needs to be on. Let's see. 219, 221. It's at 221C. Whew, stinky. So 221 Celsius is pretty freaking hot. So let's shut this down. Probably end up plugging this thing in to make sure it is well charged for when I do want it. This thing just like sucks down the power like there's no tomorrow. Very toasty. Yeah, gotta love thermal cameras, right? It's a really nice tool to have in your arsenal. Oh, thank you, YouTube, for telling me that I'm live on my channel. There we go. Okay. That being said, so this essentially, if we make a video on this split rail power supply, that means we're essentially making a video on this IC. This guy here, the XL 6019E1, because effectively there's nothing other than that and passives on the board. It's just caps, diodes, inductors, and one pot, and then that XL semi. These little ones with the fixed voltage, it's a 6007E1. So again, same thing, super simple. It's just caps and, yeah, that's it. Caps, diodes, and inductors, that's it. And this one here has a voltage divider to set the voltage to a set voltage. Here's the text on that. It's a 10 volt. Tex up, made in China. I guess I should. Tex up. So yeah, this one's a 10 volt. And then this one, the exact same, is a 5 volt. And then these, it's a DC-DC BIC boost. So there's the code there. Text is upside down. V in ground. In plus voltage, out plus minus voltage. DC-DC BIC boost. And then this one's the same thing. DC-DC BIC boost. So essentially this is a video on this guy. The XL 6019E1. Is that interesting? I almost feel like I'd like to make a circuit with it. Give me a second. Let's take a look. Ugh. I could just make a video investigating these modules. XL6019E1. E1. They're inexpensive. So 1619E1 data sheet. Okay. Buck boost inverting DC-DC. Do something with op amps, they use split rails. Yeah, so I don't know op amps though. Positive or negative output voltage, programming with a single feedback pin. Really? Typical application circuit. V-in. Where's the output? Output would be here. That's interesting. Where's the split rail showing up? Wait, what? V out 12, yeah. Okay. Pick random schematic. Yeah, no, I'd like to understand what's going on. There's no, okay, plus minus 12 here. Okay, so it's the same. It's exactly the same, right? Except that you're using the negative side as well. I bet you this is the exact circuit they used. See, I didn't realize that it wasn't a specific circuit. It was the same circuit with a specific inductor. Where would that inductor be? Because I only see one inductor with triple windings, but our circuit board has 3 inductors, so the inductors are not linked, although I can see that these are the inductors here. This line, where's my pointing apparatus? This line here, all these are the inductor, but the inductors are not coupled. The circuit diagram seems to say that they're coupled, but these are not coupled. Split rail should have negative volts. Yeah, this is split rail. Hang on. So this is split rail. So positive, negative, and ground. However, if I'm looking at that diagram, here, let's go back to the diagram. Let me bring my coffee first. Okay, if I'm looking at this diagram here, so here's for a plus minus, right? So if you look at the polarity, so this switches L1A, which causes L1B to boost through a Zener diode D1. But what happens is, if you look here, these two lines mean there's a magnetic coupling between L1A and L1C. So the core of the transformer needs to be shared between L1A, L1B, and L1C. And you see L1C is wound in the same direction as L1A, but not L1B. You see what I mean? So if we now go to here, there is no, these inductors, they're only 2 wires. So they couldn't possibly be magnetically coupled to each other. They're only 2-wire inductors. Unless they're, no, it doesn't make any sense. So how the hell are they achieving positive and negative voltage on this? How about this one? Nope. Again, 3 separate inductors. Weird. Beyond my comprehension. There should be a core with 3 windings. Yeah, I agree. So here's a core with 1 winding, here's another core with 1 winding, and here's another core with 1 winding. And there are no other inductors on this whole thing. So we've got, yeah. So how is this generating a negative voltage? Doesn't make any sense. Because, yeah, these are just individual inductors with a single winding on each. So maybe there's something I don't know. And this one too. Same thing, look, 3 inductors, flip them around. They're surface mounts, so you can't flip them around. But they only have 1 winding on each. Weird, huh? How would they be doing that with a single winding on each? I guess if you're pulsing 3 of them, you can keep the negative waveform. There are diodes. There's diode there, there's diode there. It's very strange. So I can't make a video on something I don't understand. Not yet. Not yet, at least. Okay? And then the other thing is that these guys are not single videos. This one is. This one's going to be very interesting to test out. This is the thermocouple to check your soldering iron temps. It's going to be a very cool video to make. Needs a 9-volt. Ew. However, okay, I'm gonna put a note because I'm gonna probably if there's nothing in here, I'm gonna drill this and put a connector so that I don't have to use a 9-volt because that's horrible. I don't want to use a 9-volt. But But yeah, this will be fun, but I need all of my soldering irons, the temperature faces this way. So I won't really be able to do that quite yet. All right, so that's out of the question. So we could do this. This is one we can do for sure. So that's a potential one. This is out of the question because I need to set up my laptop. By the way, I'm off for the rest of the week, so I might be doing more YouTube stuff. That is definitely a possibility. I want to try to edit a whole bunch of videos, and then essentially I'm going to flood my Patreon with a bunch of videos. Okay, so before I do that, and before we figure out what we're doing, I can also have, if you guys are actively watching, I can also get your help for something. I do want to figure out what kind of tests are important for multimeter leads. Whoops, screen, whatever. But for now, I need to go to the little boy's room. So I will be right back. I'm back. All right. Back to the webcam. There we go. It's taking a breather at the same time. Okay, so essentially we can film some shorts because I think this is a short video. I don't know what is to say about these things really. We're gonna pull some ICs out and that's it. These are, I mean, 10mm LEDs are super cool. We can light them up, but again, it's not a lot of fanciness, you know? And then this, again, I mean, we can look at, I mean, maybe what we can do, hang on a sec. Stupid mouse. God, I hate this thing. Okay. All right, I'm gonna put that on my to buy list as a new mouse. I stream enough that I need a better wireless mouse. Okay. Those IC extractors, a black one broke one of your ICs. Oh, that's not good. All right, so microscope. So what we could do for a video is we can look at the tip of the soldering iron and then use this stuff. Look at that, it looks pretty cool when it's zoomed in, huh? So we can use this stuff to clean it, and then we can look at the tip after cleaning. So we can do something with that. Give me a moment here. Let me get a pad. Okay, so we can try. Need to order more PCBs from PCBWay because I'm running out of pens. All right, so tip cleaning video. So essentially we want brass wool versus wet sponge, and then the concept can be we get a tip dirty and look under microscope, then clean, then re-inspect. Both the wool and wet sponge. So that's a good one. So that can be a full, like, could probably be like a 7-minute long video. Hate the wet sponge, it sucks the heat out of the iron. Yes, yeah, I agree with that. Definitely agree with that. Perhaps check delta T with temperature temp checker. So if we do this video first, then we can use this to check, like to hit it on the sponge and put it directly onto there and see if the temperature had dropped. So essentially with that, this makes it like a 7 to 10 minute video. So that's pretty good. I think that's a good solution. Okay, so tip cleaning video. Next, what are we looking for? So we'll have to look into, what is the name of this again? The XL6019E1. 6019E1. Research why you don't need a coupled transformer and why the PCB uses 3x individual transformers, inductors. They marked for value? No, they're not marked for value or anything. Okay, the big boost, yeah. Okay, so that's that. For the LEDs, I'm not sure, like, if you can figure out a way that this is not a, 30-second or 2-minute video, let me know. I see removers that looks like a short, and then 10 millimeter LEDs, that seems like a short as well. But then this should be interesting, the mini sealing machine. And that should be basically a demo, a inspection via thermal camera, and then tear down. So that's probably going to be like a 10 to 15 minute video. So that's good. And then we need this one here. It has a name. I keep forgetting what it's called. But the buck boost. I think it's just a buck converter, actually. Buck converter test. It's just another one. Okay. AliExpress finds. So I could make a video with these two. Like I could. All you can do with the LEDs is show current, draw, and brightness. Yeah. I wish I had a project to put them in to show why a 10 mil LED is brilliant. Because I love the fact that they're giant. 10 millimeter LEDs are fantastic. Now the other video I want to brainstorm on is this guy. It's the one where we're testing test leads, essentially. I believe these are identical. Yeah, I feel like these are identical, but I did get some so these have been recommended by Unibyte. Oh my god, these caps are stiff. Because look how sharp that is. Here, let's see if we can, under the microscope. So look at the point on that. And if you, here, I'll put it down so I can focus on it. Okay, so it's got a very sharp point. And if we compare that to the Unity leads, which are, they're not crappy, they're actually pretty good. Here's how pointy the Unity lead is in comparison. See that? So that's pretty nice, but I also have those made in America ones, the Probe Masters, and I have a set of Mechanic brand probes. So that should be pretty interesting to make a video on. Very sharp probes. That would hurt. Yeah. Yeah. So let's see what, so, because this I think is a good video. So probe video. So what are characteristics we can check for the probe? So first of all, flexibility. I can't spell. Of, well, that just fell. My mechanic tester. So flexibility of the cable. That's good. Resistance to heat. Pointiness of the probe. Resistance of the lead. So the resistance will have to we'll have to figure something out. We'll have to probably run current through it and check voltage drop. Resistance of the lead. So likely we'll need to run current through and measure voltage drop. Okay, so there's that. What else? I can't check wire gauge because that would mean cutting them, and I'm sure as hell not cutting my Made in America ProbeMaster probes. They were way too expensive to be chopping apart. These are exceedingly fancy, and these are their base models. Here, I'll show you the pointiness. Still pretty darn pointy. I'll just leave it alone for a moment so that it doesn't give you that weird interlacing. There we go. Look at the machining on that. Beautiful. But yeah, they are quite pointy. So yeah, resistance, EMF leakage, that's beyond my ability. Definitely beyond my ability. Let me see if I can find the mechanic probes because they're pretty nice. Let's see. Mailbag unmadnessing. Mechanic RP4, number 56. Give me a second, let me just find number 56 in here. 55. 57. 56. Here you get a live unboxing. So these were $10. So if these are just as good as the ProbeMasters, that's going to really mean something. You wouldn't know how to test it either. Yeah, there we go. There we go. So these are the stainless steel probe tip RP4s. This can go in here. I do like the Mechanic brand. For like cheap tools, it's essentially as good as it gets, if that makes any sense. So, okay, very soft silicone wires. 18 wire gauge, but we can't, I mean, we can check the stated gauge. We can check the stated gauge, we cannot check the actual gauge, because I'm not chopping apart my Probe Masters. No way. If they want to send me a set, they can send me a set to chop up, but other than that, not a chance. So yeah, very nice. Here, I'll take a look at the probes. It comes with replaceable tips. I don't know if there's a sharpness difference. That's razor sharp. Hang on, let me just see if they're all the same. They're different. That is going to be insanely sharp. Look at that one there. That is literally a needle. That is crazy sharp. Yeah, that is insane. That's way sharp. Try to angle this. There we go. That is crazy sharp. So, yeah. I definitely think I'm gonna try not to stab myself as I put the cap back on. It's nice that they're replaceable, though. There we go. So, yeah, I think these are definitely a contender. I might, you know, knowing the price, I might get a set of these for work. That is very nice. For $10, I think a budget Fluke with these is an absolute killer deal. Speaking of which, I need to make the thumbnail. Make the damn thumbnail for the Fluke video. DOS. Do it, you lazy bum. There we go. So yeah, because I definitely need to do the thumbnail for the Fluke video. It's going to be a good video, I think, views wise. I just need to figure out what kind of thumbnail I want. Oh, I'm just going to go back into here. Get back in there. There we go. So, that's that. It's almost 11 o'clock. Okay. So, I definitely have stuff to do here. I do need to make a... So, Voron V0 video. And I also need to make the framework video. I need to make the X55 video, and I need to make the Steam Deck video. I've got a lot of work to do. So in the next couple of weeks, I want to get through all of these. Some of these are not going to be easy to do with you guys present. You'll need different camera angles and stuff, but that's definitely something I'm going to be aiming towards, getting all these done. I need to make a giant list, print it out, and I need to give myself sort of a reward for finishing the list, for making all those videos. Okay, what do I reward myself with? I'm not allowed to have fast food because I haven't done my midway taxes yet, and it's we're over a month late now. I don't have to do my taxes. It's just one of those things that I don't want to get until like at next April and have to do it all at once. So the goal is to do my taxes as I go. So I already have a deal with my wife that I need to do my taxes, so it's not a big stress at the end. So I'm not allowed to have fast food until that's done. So it can't be fast food. What the hell do I reward myself with to get these videos done? Might have to have a chat with Vero about that. Because I do think, oh, there's the advertising for the pointy needles. Tip is sharp, keep it away from children. Yeah. So I do need to run through these things. I don't know. I don't know what I'm going to reward myself with. But regardless, I think with that in mind, I think I might just end it here because I have a lot of thinking that I need to do. Get the magnet off this. So yeah, need to do a lot of thinking. I might need to film a lot of these things off stream, but I will definitely save some stuff to be done on stream. I mean, ice cream could be good. But yeah, definitely need to get stuff done. So I want to thank you guys for watching. I might be back tomorrow morning. We will see. Maybe I will set up a second camera, so I can shoot this way and do this video. Because I feel like this video should be technically easy to knock out, and it'll be a lot of fun to take a look as well. So yeah. I guess I'll see you guys tomorrow if you guys are interested in live stream, and if I decide to go through with it. Have a good one, guys. Thanks for being here. Appreciate your company, and I'll catch you in the next one.